Hi, I'm Emircan from Mechanical Engineering Department. Today I'm going to present my Physics 101 lab project. The project documented the determination of spring constant and the period of spring pendulum. And my research question is, to what extent does increasing the mass affect the period of spring pendulum in order to calculate the spring constant? My hypothesis is increasing the mass increases the period of spring pendulum because based on the Hooke's law, there is an elastic force that causes the motion of oscillation. Therefore, the data of period will be observed to find the spring constant. Before the experiment, masses should be weighed using the electronic balance. And for the methodology part, the metal T-bar should be placed on the desk. And the masses should be attached to the hook. Spring should be pinned to the metal T-stand. And the hook should be placed to the end of the spring. Spring should be released and the extension should be observed because the equilibrium position is changed as the elastic force is equal to the weight. And the downward force should be applied to the pendulum, which is pulling motion, and it should be released. The time of 10 oscillations should be measured because in order to increase the accuracy, time of 10 oscillations should be measured and divided by the 10 in order to find the period. And after that, masses should be changed from 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 and 300 grams. And the experiment should be repeated for 5 times and the data should be averaged in order to reduce the random error. According to the table 1, the time of 10 oscillations is changed from 3.30 seconds to 7.48 as the masses varied between 50 grams to 250 grams. It shows that highest mass has the highest period of spring pendulum and it is predicted. And in table 2, the values of period are squared to find the relationship between the mass and the period. It is observed that when the mass is 250 gram, the period squared value becomes the highest. And the uncertainty of the period is calculated, which shows that the highest uncertainty is seen when the period is 0.566 seconds. As seen in figure 1, the data from the table 2 are graphed. The regression equation and the correlation coefficient are obtained. There is a positive linear correlation between the mass and the period squared of spring pendulum, which shows that the period squared is proportional to the mass. For the strength, 5 different masses, which is varied between 50 grams to 250 grams, are used in the experiment to compare the result in order to get a better understanding of the relationship. And for each masses, the number of trials are determined to be 5, so that the accuracy of the result is increased as they averaged. And for the weaknesses, force is applied to the spring in order to start the motion. However, even though it is considered to be the slightest effect on the period, the effect cannot be neglected. And for the second weakness, stopwatch is used in order to obtain the period. However, human reaction time should be considered as the uncertainty because the actual time data can be affected by it.